Hello, it's Liz from the Guru Code podcast. I always feel like I'm on some sort of secret mission or snuggled away in the corner of a very nice coffee shop with a coffee and a cake and just, having a good old chat and jaw over something. I suppose we are really, aren't we? But anyway, we're here. And my purpose of doing these is really sort of to bring to the fore those themes that are reoccurring, that pop up all the time, that I'm finding are shared experiences in the world of small business ownership, small business leadership. It's certainly shared by an awful lot of my clients and the people that I speak to when I'm networking and things like that. So today I wanted to start with quite a pretty bold statement, but one that I think really fires up the synapses and gets people really thinking. And that's business is simple. When you hear that, what do you think? Is business simple? How bold and brassy is that for an opening statement? I quite like it, really. When you think of all the efforts that you've put into building your business, crafting your business, delivering your business. And, if I asked you, has that been simple? You see, business is simple, but I would say that it's being in business that isn't as simple. There's a lovely quote, and I know people are a little bit funny about quotes, but I think this one resonates. And it's from a German poet. I think he was Second World War or maybe before. Anyway, the only journey is the one within. You see, that's the interesting thing, because you go day by day and you don't even notice what's happening around you, do you? But actually the real journey is what happens with you, where you've gone, where you've come from to where you're going is very much a personal thing, isn't it? And I think it is very much in business. If I asked you, let's try and pull this apart. So if I asked you if you could write down a clear process or strategy to build a mirror business, the mirror business that you've already got, could you? You see, I bet you could, because I know I could. I could write you down. It's like that the saying, isn't it? Business in a box. I could tell you who I serve, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, what the outcomes are, how those outcomes are delivered, the pricing points, the packages, all of those sorts of things. And I could just deliver that. And that's business. But when it comes to business or being in business, now you see, that's the bit that I think gets less simple. Because as soon as you throw in the human bit, because in business is the human element, being that business owner, I think that's when simplicity can often end. That's you being the business leader, isn't it? That's you being in business. You see, I don't think you'd be alone as a business leader. If one of the next few things on this list are going to resonate with you, doesn't matter what level you're at, whether you're 6-7 figures multimillionaire or just starting out in business, I think all of these at some stage will have been familiar. That feeling that you endlessly seek more knowledge in order to make yourself better at what you do, or maybe you run out of time daily to get everything that you want to get done and some more. It's never enough, is it? It's never enough. You just squeeze a bit more in. Maybe you've even paid for help, joined groups, but still nothing has changed. Maybe you've even hired a coach, a business coach, but still there's no oomph to your business. There's no progress going on in your business. Maybe you've invested in training, certificates, but you don't do anything with them. You just think they're a nice addition to your business, makes your business look a little bit more plush. Perhaps you've attended numerous webinars and seminars and feel really energized and inspired to get ahead of the competition. And then you go to sleep, don't you? Until the next morning, and then it's just gone like a puff of smoke, isn't it? Just disappears. Even though you know it's not there, would you still love to discover that magic formula, that Midas touch, the seamless and stressless success? Well, there you go. That's why I think, we've all been there, haven't we? We've all got that sort of, we've all had those experiences at some stage. Well, here's the reality checker. Would it surprise you to know that even those who are, to the outside world, look like they've got their stuff cracked, like they've got their shizzle together and they're making it look really easy, still find themselves questioning, what am I doing wrong? Why is this not working? How hard do I have to push? They've got the flat forehead because they've been banging their head against the door and the walls. Have I got enough? Have I got what it takes to keep this going? Can I take it somewhere else? And I've had clients before where feeling so deflated and they're worried sick that everything that they've got, they daren't change track or up level or try something new just in case they lose what they've already done. They can't bear the thought of rebuilding. Self-doubt still crops up for these people at 3 a.m. in the morning, No different from you and me. So if business is simple, being in business, I think we can agree, is the toughest part. It is the absolute toughest part. But what makes it so? Well, I've already hinted at it, haven't I? It's to do with us. The answers are not external. That list of things that I gave you, the answers are not external. What it is internal, is, when you've got to do that inner work, that's what makes this simple. It's not external. Now look, if you've left a relatively secure PAYE type job, corporate, your career in whatever it was you were doing, the position of maybe follower or junior rank, you made a courageous decision and took fearless action to come into business. You made it happen. Now, that wasn't external for a lot of us. It will be an inside job. Yes, you may have got made redundant, but you could have chosen to go back to work. Instead, you took the less travelled path. And that's an inside job that makes that happen. Yes, it might not have been conscious. It might have been a spur of the moment. It might have felt simple, but I believe you me, it will have happened first inside. Now, that stirring that happened deep inside caused the shift. That caused the shift. It said, just do it. And you did. That's what can happen. Those dramatic shifts and changes, that's how big they can be when you allow it to happen from the inside. When you don't stop to doubt yourself. So what inner work do you need to do so you can keep repeating such inspired action in the second half of this year? Because that's what we need to do. We need to build that bridge. We need to know what that bridge was so that we can keep repeating those actions, those courageous and brave actions. This feel the fear and do it anyway sort of fool's game, just plain painful in my view, it doesn't help you grow. If anything, it can be soul destroying and probably unrepeatable. So you don't even know how you've made you do it. You've just got this dread, and to do it blind is nuts to me. Build that bridge so that you know each and every step, what needs to be in place, how you need to feel, what you need to be focusing on. That's what will make things simple. Let me ask you just to think back over, the last 5 months, 6 months, and be really honest. How have you grown as a business owner or leader? Not what you've achieved, but how have you grown? Are you the same person that you were 5 months ago? What do you know now with greatest confidence that you didn't know 5 months ago? What do you need to become today to bring the dream home? What do you need to become? So, we don't want to know all the certificates you've got or what you need to go and gain. We need to know that identity level. Who do you need to become to make that dream come home? You know that saying, all the gear and no idea? Well, it's something my daughter shared with me years ago. Probably teasing me about something, but I love that saying because I think it rings true in so many contexts. We all have the capacity to learn, don't we? If someone somewhere has already achieved what you desire, 6 figures, 7 figures, multi-millions, whatever it is, there will be a science, a tested recipe because they've tested it and they've got the outcome, and a methodology. So there's an instruction manual that goes with it that we can copy. Now, there's no saying that is been done more than once. You see, you could hit 6 figures once and then say, I've got the magic bullet. No one's actually saying, how many times have you done that, matey? But, you could just copy that and you will get some outcomes and answers, don't worry. But that is all you will do, is copy it. So there's no depth, there's no way of knowing how to rescue yourself, how to pick yourself up, none of that, because you just copied it. You've got no ownership, no depth of understanding. You've got none of that finesse that goes with the journey. We've not built the bridge on which we travelled to create our end product. And this is so, you see, once you've got it and you've got it, it's not about the business, it's about you. Just because you understand what you need to do and how to do it doesn't mean you feel or believe that you can deliver and execute it in the same way as that other person. This is the in-business part. That's the bit that makes it tough. You can't do what they've done unless you've really studied them. If success was just about copying each other, business wouldn't just be simple, it'd be child's play, wouldn't it? It really would be child's play. It's like learning chess. You could just perfect it, couldn't you? But actually, if you don't believe in yourself, you'll never play like that other person plays. When you think about it, there's business books everywhere, isn't there? By the millions, by the thousands, 5 easy steps to learn public speaking, acting, singing, selling, writing, whatever it is, even down to building websites and using Google. But do we do anything with that knowledge? In all honesty, no, probably not. But why? It's because we don't have the self-belief to be able to exercise that. It's a bit like borrowing someone else's shoes. They're moulded inside to somebody else's feet. They might look good on the outside, but no one knows if they pinch or rub or anything else. However nice they look, they don't belong to you. And somehow, unconsciously, subconsciously, at that unconscious level, you never forget that. You'll never forget that. Or if you've ever hired a suit for a special occasion, you're never quite able to relax in it. Just in case you spill some red wine on it, you have to answer to somebody because somebody's brushed past you and made a nasty mess on the, maybe you got oil on it. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe you get shoved in, you trapped in the car door. You're never able to really relax in it and just go with the flow. I remember having acting roles in the NHS, and I never felt I could change strategy or speak up or influence decisions because the role wasn't mine. I would attend meetings in the boardroom and almost quite sheepish and feeling like I needed to ask permission. Every time I got promoted, and that's the difference, I got promoted. So I had done the work, I'd done the research, I'd done the study, I was there. I felt like it should be my job. It would take a real process of self-growth and personal growth, yes, as soon as you get in there. But for me to feel truly fearless, that was the answer. Now, I remember going to buy a car with my husband one day, and I said to the salesperson, I feel that this car is driving me. it was a car that my husband wanted. It was a Land Rover Discovery. And I said, I don't feel like I'm in control. I couldn't see properly out of the windows. There were blind spots everywhere, like the pillars were in the wrong place for reversing and turning and it felt huge behind the wheel and quite overwhelming. And weirdly, when you are successful in business and you haven't done the inner work, and I've heard this so many times, even from sort of young child stars growing up, it can often feel that you've created a beast that doesn't belong to you. You don't really quite understand it. Being in business is not simple. The more aware you are, the more intentional you are about who you need to become, will truly and totally change the trajectory of your success. And ultimately, and this for me is almost more important, your happiness. It is an internal journey. That's the only one that still exists. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. I hope it's triggered off some thoughts and some questions. And you're always welcome to email me, book in a 30-minute exploratory call with me. And if you love this sort of stuff and you're really keen to have that inner work, do that inner work, don't forget, we've got the retreat in October 2023, and you can go and find it on my website, www.theguruco.co.uk. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.